Hello, my name is Daniel Acevedo, and today we're going to be talking about work environments, more specifically, work environments in startups and work environments in established companies. In order to do that, we first have to describe the advantages and disadvantages in working in both scenarios, and then the overall experience in working in both. To start off with, we're going to start off at the startup level, and working in a startup, there are usually three main advantages I think they present. They include the sink or swim mentality, the loose job description of job titles and job roles, and the creative and innovative solutions that are the byproduct of these startups. Just to touch base on a couple of these with the sink or swim mentality, these are usually the main driving forces for these startups. The ability to take a crazy, outrageous idea and try to make it into a product or solution to a problem is usually the main idea for these startups. For example, you have Facebook trying to make the world's biggest social media network in the world, and that seems to be like a huge goal back in 2003 when they first kind of started developing it. We all know the end of that story. So that's kind of the main idea for startups. And also, working on a startup, there are a lot of loose descriptions on job titles and job roles. For example, you could be working at the database for about 6 months, and then after that, you could be helping the IPA group, or the GUI group, and the API group, and trying to develop and fix their issues. So this gives the person the opportunity to grow their skill set in various different types of departments and fields of study. This could also come with the creation of the creation and innovation of the solutions that they come up with. Because since they're all working together, they're all spinning their own ideas and their own perspective on a specific issue. This really comes. The byproduct of this is usually very creative and innovative. That they wouldn't have gotten that without each other's help. As for some of the disadvantages, they include the high risk factors, kind of low pay with long hours, and the lack of structure. For the high risk factors, like I stated before, the sink or swim mentality is a driving force. However, this high risk factors scare a lot of the potential employers away because they have other responsibilities such as family or other responsibilities in their lives that they need to handle as well, and don't have the opportunity to put in all their time and effort into a specific um, idea or project that they would like to. So this brings down a lot of people. According to White, about 3 out of 4 startups fail. So this is a huge statistic that scares a lot of people away because they just don't want to fail. And if they do choose to work at a startup, the pay usually early on is kind of low, since there isn't that revenue they can use to improve their pay, and they also comes with very long hours in trying to create the structure and the foundation of that company. Now that we talked about a few things about startups, we can continue on working at established companies. Working at established companies, I believe there are kind of three main advantages at working at an established company, and those include that they are very task oriented and usually have a set work schedule. Their positions are highly specialized, and there usually is a set path for promotion. For the task oriented work and work schedule, this can be hugely beneficial for someone who has other things in their life, such as family and things they need to take care of, so they can put in their 8 to 9 hours of work a day and then have the rest of their time to do as they choose. And also with the highly specialized positions, this can be very beneficial because if you are someone who is very good at databases, then you apply to a company and working for that department, and you can be the star and be very productive in that field. However, this could come into a small disadvantage because it limits your kind of skill set. For example, if you're interested in networking but you work at a database, usually if the problem comes up with the networking, they usually go to the networking department or division for their problem needs and kind of really leave the others behind because that's not their specialized position. Um, Another advantage could be the set path for promotion. Usually, many large corporations have a set of steps and goals that must be reached in order to get promoted. This could be hugely beneficial for people who have a career goal in mind and have the opportunity to reach that career goal in a timely manner. However, this could also become a disadvantage because these paths for promotion aren't usually timed, so you could be working at a certain position for 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years. It really depends on various factors that evolve around the company, and that's where a lot of the company politics come into play as well, with having various things come into play. For example, if you wanted to apply to a position from your company that your boss is also trying to apply to, they are more likely to hire your boss just because he's been there kind of longer, kind of like that seniority kind of thing. Even though you think you might be better than him, he might be getting that promotion instead. So this could be very disheartening for people who put in their hard work, but yet kind of fall back on that kind of corporate ladder. But now that we kind of touched on a couple of the pros and cons at both scenarios, let's talk about the overall experience in working in these environments. And in doing my research, I noticed that the overall experience usually kind of depends on how a specific person likes to work. If you're the kind of person who likes to have a set schedule, set time frames, kind of works in a specific division, and kind of like wants to work on their own projects, then a well-established company is kind of more towards their field. And for someone who likes to work on their own pace, kind of likes to explore other options in the fields, and are very passionate about the project, then a startup is usually the best bet for them. So I hope this presentation was beneficial to you, and thank you.